back to this last but not least part of the info day. And so I'm going to share my screen, and please let me know if there's something still wrong with the. So I'm going to swap. Okay, so welcome, and so this is the last session dedicated to cross-cutting, let's say, issues. We will go through the different way, let's say, and tools that you have to apply. And then going through give you some advice about the how to apply and how to apply and have a quality proposal to submit, and then what kind of support do you have at the national level. So for this first part, so dedicated to application process, I would like to invite my colleague Anna Zoccalelli from HADEA, the digital unit. Anna, are you there?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Elena.
And yes, I think we can start. So basically, now there will be this first presentation, and then at the end we have some room for questions. So and Anna will have also the support of other colleagues, co-coordinators from other well, parent DGs and HADEA, to be able to reply to your questions. So I think we can start. Anna, please let me know when I need to change a slide each time so we can move
Absolutely.
to the first.
Hello. Absolutely. Thank you, Elena. Hello, everyone from my side too. As mentioned, my name is Anna Zoccalelli, and I am a program manager in HADEA. Today, together with my fellow co-coordinators in HADEA and also in DG Connect, we have prepared very nice presentations and for this session on the application process in eGrants, and for the next session, an advice for quality to apply to have quality in your proposals. And the intention here is to provide you some guidance on and help during the application process. And with that, we will start with the first slide, which is an overview of the call deadlines we're having in 2023 for all the destinations under this cluster, cluster 4. As you can see, the earliest deadlines we are having at the moment is for the two-stage call, the first stage of the two-stage calls, which is under the Destination 1 and Destination 2, which is set on the 7th of March 2023. The call deadlines of the calls under the remaining destinations are more or less grouped in March and April. It is single-stage evaluation, and the idea is that we have the grant agreement procedure completed by the end of the year. So we have the grant agreements there. In the next slide, so since everything starts with a call of proposals, you will be very happy to hear that our work program was officially published last week. So we advise you to read the work program and start considering the topics you wish to apply for. To apply for a proposal, you have to do it through the Funding and Tenders portal. The portal is the single point of entry for EU funding, and you can access all calls and all topics in your area of interest. So you can find, you can filter here per work program, or you can use keywords to find the topics you wish to apply for. And then what is important when you enter the topic page in the Fundings and Tenders portal is to read very carefully the general conditions, which are also presented in detail in the Horizon Europe General Annexes, the topic description, the topic-specific conditions, and also all the documents provided in the topic page. When you prepare your proposal, these templates that you will see in the topic page are for your information. However, when you start drafting your proposal, please use the templates that you will find in the submission tools. And this is because we particularly customize these templates to the topics you are applying for, to the specificities of the topics. During the whole process, you should regularly check for call updates. If there is an update there, it will be of an interest for you to read it. It's going to be an important one. And also the frequent asked questions for your topic, which will provide you clarifications on the topic descriptions or maybe any other clarification you may need. The page here allows you also to find partners. So as soon as you decide the topic you want to apply for, you can express your interest there as well to find other partners so you can compose a consortium. In the next slide, here we have the online manual, which you can find in the Funding and Tenders portal under the tab Support, Guidance and Manuals. This online manual provides you guidance step by step on how to submit a proposal and provides very important information and will clarify many of your questions that you may have during the whole process. Of course, the same manual, you will find it, as you will see in the next slide, also in the submission tool. So can we move to the next slide, please? Yes, here you will find also the links directly to the online manual, the IT How, the IT Help Desk in case you have any issues during the submission period, and also the frequent asked questions. So if you have any question or any issues, please get in touch with us as early as possible so we can find the best solution possible for you. Of course, to apply for a proposal, all applicants are required to register in the participant portal and have a PIC reference. The PIC is the identification code, the participant identification code. So the moment you will start drafting your proposal, the system will ask you to insert this reference number. In the next slide, once you enter the participant portal and start the preparation for the submission of your proposal, you can add partners, add associate partners, affiliated entities using this PIC reference or using the organization name. What is special, what is important actually in this step is to have always in mind the requirements for the minimum number of participants for your topic you are applying for. Of course, a message will always appear in the participant portal specifying the consortium eligibility requirements. As you will see here in the screenshot we attached, we need, in most of the cases, research and innovation actions, at least 3 legal entities, one from a member state and 2 other independent from member states or associate countries. So 3 legal entities at least. As you can see in the screenshot, at the moment I have added 3, but the message says call requires at least 3 participants from different EU member states and associate countries. Currently you have 2. So pay attention also to the messages that you will see in the portal because they are customized for the topic you are applying for. In the next slide, here it's we will try to refresh a bit who is eligible to apply for funding. We assume that most of you are aware of the particular countries that they are eligible for funding. Of course, member states, including their outmost regions, and the overseas countries and territories linked to the member states. Countries that are associated to Horizon Europe, low and middle income countries. You will find all the countries that belong in this category listed in the general annexes in case you have a question for a particular country. And also we advise you to read the Horizon Europe program guide. And other countries, if particularly specified in your call topic conditions. Also eligible for funding are affiliated entities established in countries eligible for funding, EU bodies, International European Research Organization. Other international organizations are not eligible by default for funding unless it is exceptionally allowed in the topic conditions that you're applying for the topics you're applying for. In the next slide, as it has been previously mentioned in the past days, we have some topics that they are impacted by the Article 22.5. Usually, these are topics under the Destination 5 and Destination 4, which limits the participation to legal entities established only in member states or in EU member states and specific associate countries or non-associated countries. So you have to pay attention again to the topic specific conditions conditions in the work program. These entities must not be directly or indirectly controlled by a non-eligible country or by a non-eligible country entity. If this is the case, there may be a possibility of guarantees provided by the eligible country of establishment that their participation to an action would not negatively impact the Union's strategic assets, interest, autonomy, or security. In this, these topics that they have this specificity will also include in the templates the annex that you have to fill in. The annex is called Declaration on Ownership and Control, and we will go through this also in the next session in detail. In the next slide. In the next slide, you see here what it appears the moment you will enter the forms in the submission portal. So you have to fill in the general information, which is the declarations, the participants, which here is very important that you include all the keywords from as early as possible in the application process, and also to include an abstract for your proposal. These elements, you can always update them during the course of the application process, but it is really important for us because it will facilitate greatly the selection of the experts, qualify the experts to assess your proposals, that you include them as early as possible. Then you have to fill in the budget table, the ethics and security section, and other questions if apply for for your topic. Nothing changes in comparison with the previous year. For a normal research and innovation action and coordination and support action. Now in the next slide, we will see some specificities for the lump sum topics. This is novelty. So what is different for the lump sum topics is the declaration. You have one additional declaration on lump sums under the general information that you will have to read and select. Then what is different for the lump sum topics under the budget section is that here in the part A, you will have a simplified budget table. It means that you will list the beneficiaries that they will participate in your proposal, and then the total EC request budget amount. And this is because the detailed breakdown of the costs, this will be included as an annex in the detailed budget table that you will have to anyway attach to your proposal. In the next slide. Here we see the fourth section of the part A, where you have to fill in the information on the ethics and security. Please go through these tables and indicate which elements concern your proposal by answering yes or no, and also indicating the page reference. And if your answer is yes to any of the questions, please provide additional information in the designated box. The more information you include here for the ethics and for the security, the better it will be for us, because all proposals, reserve list and successful proposals will undergo an ethics pre-screening and screening if needed. And also for Horizon Europe, they will undergo also a security pre-screening and screening. And in some cases, in some security sensitive topics, or if your proposal identified serious security issues, will may undergo even security scrutiny. So the more information you include here, the better it will be. In the next slides, here is the last page you see in the part A in the forms. Once you fill in all these sections, make sure that you validate, make sure that you save the information that you insert there. When you validate, the system automatically, as you can see here, provides you with an error message if some information is missing. Please click on when you see this red button, show error, click on it, and then try to correct the proposal, providing the information that is missing, and then save again, validate again until you are happy with the part A of your proposal, and then save and exit. When you exit in the next slide, you are directed back to the proposal, to the portal, to the submission portal. And here, And here you have to upload the additional annexes if required by your topic. What is the most important, of course, document here is the part B of the proposal that you have to upload it. And then if you are applying for a lump sum topic, you have to upload the detailed budget table. Or if your topic foresees financial support to third party, you have to upload the template, the information on the financial support to third party, or ownership control, or important information on security as well. In the next slide. Now, when you are ready with your part B of your proposal, what is important here is that you need to clean your document before you upload it. When you have it ready and you are happy with it, you check it, you clean your document, you accept all track changes, you delete any internal notes that you may have or any comments. You save it as a PDF document, and then please check your PDF conversion software if because in some cases it cut down pages with landscape orientation to fit them into portrait orientation format. So make sure that you check the final version of the document before you upload it. Another element that you need to have in mind here is the page limit. For research innovation actions, the page limit is 45 pages. But if you're applying for a lump sum topic, then it is 50 pages. Likewise, for the coordination and support actions, the page limit is 30 pages. But if you're applying for a lump sum topic, it's 33 pages. Some topics, of course, under Destination 1 and Destination 2, they foresee 3 additional pages to include a business case and exploitation strategy. This is taken into consideration as well in this in the portal, and you will also see a reference in the Part B template that you will download from the submission portal. So make sure that the final version is clean. Make sure that you are happy with it. Make sure that you respect the guidelines, the guidance provided in the Part B template when it concerns the font and the margin of the document. And if you are happy with it, then upload it because will be the final version that the evaluators will evaluate when we have the evaluation period of your proposals. When it comes to the lump sum topics, you have to upload also the information of the detailed budget table as an Excel table in the portal. And then you can do a verification. You can download the Part B template to see how it appears. Now, if you attempt to upload an annex that contains more pages than the allowed page limit, you will not be blocked by the system. But after your upload, the system will display a warning message, and it will advise you to shorten the Part B and also to re-upload the Part B of your proposal. In the next slide. So when you finish with uploading the Part B and all the annexes, you are back here to this page, which is what you see in the funding and tenders portal, and then you have to click validate. This is a very important step because it validates both Part A and Part B of your proposal, all the documents as well that you have uploaded. And then if you need to do some corrections, please go and correct your proposal. Make sure that it meets the requirements. Make sure that if you have changed the consortium composition, for instance, that you go back, you save, and then you come here in this page and then you validate again. And and we can see this actually in the next page. Thank you, Elena. So here is a sort of warnings that you see when you validate. So you always go back, you edit, you save, and you validate again. You can have a print preview before you click on submit. And when you are happy that this is the proposal that you want to apply, click on submit. What we advise from our side, the moment you will submit, you will reach the next slide, which is the final slide that you see in the funding and tenders portal. What we advise from our side is to apply as early as possible. because you can always update your proposal. Until the call deadline, you can update your proposal as many times as you wish. However, whenever you update your proposal, the previous version is deleted and we cannot recover it. This is an element that you have to have in mind. And with that, I think we complete the first session today together, which is information on the application process. And I'm happy to answer to your questions, if any.
Yeah, so now, as already, well, probably everybody know, there is the QR code that you can scan, and you can add the event code info day. So if yeah, maybe you can start to ask some question directly on Slido, or if you want even add some or let's say validate some questions that are being already asked by someone else. So I see that there are still some already one question. It's so in lump sum proposals, does the 70% contribution rate for SMEs apply?
So depends on the type of action. Actually, we have lump sums that the areas that they foresee 100% success, 100% funding rate for eligible applicants for a profit and non-profit. If you apply for an innovation action, then it is 70% for a profit, but 100% for non-profit. The funding rate, legal entities, and there are topics as well under our cluster that they also foresee 60% in some cases of funding rate for profit entities. So it depends on the topic you're applying for. And
Exactly.
coordination and support actions also foresee 100% funding rate for profit and non-profit legal entities.
Exactly. Any, I don't know if there is any other question. So maybe waiting. I would like to wait if there is any other question before to go to pass to the other presentation. I would like to remind, and probably this is also we will give you more details even later on about the info day, the brokerage events organized by the National Contact Points and Enterprise Europe Network, in that are let's say organized in parallel together, covering the different destinations of the cluster 4. And in particular now there is still some brokerage events are still ongoing, while there is that one for Idealist. You still have time to register because it will start tomorrow. So don't hesitate to have a look and apply and register. So I think that if there's no, I don't see any other question. So
There is one more.
sorry. Is is there a lump sum the specific Excel X template available?
Yes, yes, you will find it also in the topic page in the Funding and Tenders portal for your information there. But you will also find it in the templates provided in the submission tool. You will have to download it there. There are some specificities with this Excel table. You have to save it in the format that is currently there because it uses macros. It means that the moment you add information, and this is going to be explained also in the next session, when you add in beneficiaries there, automatically new tabs are added in this Excel table. So keep the format as you download it from the submission tool, and then when you fill in the information and it is the final version, you can save it as an Excel table and then upload it in the submission portal. So yes, you will find the templates also in the submission portal.
And then I see another question again about the lump sum. So are lump sum proposal restricted to specific area of industry?
Not that I'm aware of. There are various lump sum topics across all destinations in Cluster 4, especially this year. So I don't think they are specifically restricted to an area.
Yes, I think so. So another question, can the order of participants be reordered in the e-forms once they have been added?
Yes. Yes, you can reorder them, and then you make sure that you click on save. Because only the moment that you click on save, the system takes the new changes into consideration and go also to the forms and update the forms as well there. And always click validate there to see what errors you may find. And you are advised to not do last minute changes in the consortium composition, because this, as we approach the call deadline, can create additional stress, because there are elements that you need to correct also in the forms when you change the consortium composition.
Okay. I think that there's no other question, so I think we can move on to the other slide. I mean, to the other presentation about the quality proposal, let's say. So I'm going to share again my screen. So please, if there's something wrong, please let me know. Anna, the floor is yours again.
Thank you, Elena. So this is an attempt from our side to provide you with as much information as possible when it comes to the general conditions that apply for all calls under this destination, and provide you with advice on how to improve the quality of your proposals. And at this moment, I would also like to thank also my colleagues who have contributed in this presentation, colleagues, call coordinators from HADEA and also from DG Connect. And with that, we'll start with the general conditions that you can also find in the Horizon Europe General Annexes, which is the admissibility and eligibility conditions. Yes, the first slide. Thank you, Elena. So applications must be complete and contain all parts and mandatory annexes and supporting documents. Do not forget to attach when your topic requires financial support to third parties. For example, this particular annex, it's important for us during the evaluation. Applications must be readable, accessible, and printable. It is really important that you follow the guidance provided in the template part B, especially when it comes to the font size, to the margin, because the use of different font for the body text of your proposal is not advised. To use a different font size, and is subject to cumulative conditions that the font is legible and that its use does not significantly shortens the representation of your proposal in number of pages compared to using the reference font. So we will assess case by case, and when you comply with the guidance provided there, it really facilitates our job from our side. Also, applications must include a plan for exploitation and dissemination of results, including communication activities. This is not applicable for applications at the first stage of the two-stage procedures, unless otherwise specified in the call topic conditions. Specific page limits per type of action normally apply. We already mentioned that in the previous section. The reference on the page limit will be also in the Part B template, but also when you try to upload the annexes, you will see it there as well. For the blind evaluation, applicants submitting a proposal under a blind evaluation, and at this point, I would like to mention that all two-stage calls that we're having in this destination, the first stage will be evaluated blindly. This actually involves 5 topics in total, 1 under twin transition, destination 1, and 4 under the destination 2, resilience call. Applicants submitting a proposal under the blind evaluation pilot must not disclose their organization names, acronyms, logos, or names of personnel in Part B. So have that in mind when you prepare your proposals. Concerning the eligibility, eligible activities are the ones described in the call conditions and in the top conditions. Minimum number of partners are set out in the call conditions. In most of the cases, we require at least 3, as mentioned earlier, 3 legal entities, 1 member state, and at least 2 other legal entities independent from each other, either set in a member state or associate country. For calls with deadlines in 2022 and onwards, participants are public bodies, research organizations, or higher education establishments from member states and associate countries must have a gender equality plan in place. This is an eligibility criterion. It is not part of the evaluation criteria. So if you don't have a gender equality plan in place at the moment of the submission, do not worry. We do not evaluate. We do not lower score a proposal if a beneficiary does not have it. However, the existence of a gender equality plan is checked if your proposal is invited to a grant agreement procedure, and these beneficiaries that I just mentioned earlier must have it in place. It's an eligibility condition before the signature of the grant agreement. And other criteria may apply on a call by call basis as set out in the call conditions. In the next slide, here is the dedicated page where you can find information on lump sums. We really encourage you, if you are applying to a lump sum topic, to go there and read the guidance and all information. You will find all information needed for a lump sum topic. We try to compile all sort of information there in one page, so it is easier for you to find answers to possible questions you may have during the application process. It is in the Fundings and Tenders portal. In the next slide, here, again, for lump sum topics, there is no difference in the standard template part B of your proposal. So we use the same as in the normal research innovation actions and innovation actions, or coordination and support actions. Describe in detail the activities covered by each work package. To define and justify the lump sum, you need to provide a detailed breakdown of cost estimations. The estimates must be an approximation of your actual costs and meet the basic eligibility criteria of Horizon Europe. You will find the detailed budget table that you will need to attach with your proposal already in the submission tool. Use this one. And this is because it is customized for the lump sum topic you are applying, because as we said earlier, depending on the type of action, the funding rate may change. And the cost estimations are used to generate automatically a breakdown of lump sum shares per work package, per work package and per participant. In the next slide, you will see how this Excel table looks like. As mentioned, you will find it in the templates provided in the submission tool. Download it, start filling it in, and save it with the format that it has, because it uses macros. It means that when you add beneficiaries in the second tab here, automatically new tabs will be added in this Excel table. And when you're sure that you're happy with the information provided in this Excel table, save it as an Excel and then upload it in as an annex in the designated box in the participant portal, and always keep a copy. That would be our advice from our side. In the next slide, here is a summary of the documents that you will need during your application, for the completeness of your application. Of course, the application form part A, it is to be filled online. It is structured data introduced in the online submission system. It is required by all topics. The application form part B as well, it is required by all topics, and it is the technical description of the project. It's a Word document. You always check it, and then you upload a PDF document in the portal. Then we have the annexes. Some topics may require financial support third parties, so you have to attach also an annex on financial support third parties. Some topics may require ownership control, which you also have to attach, or information on security issues. And then the last one, which is not really an annex, but if you apply for a lump sum topic, you have to attach also the detailed budget table for lump sum topics. And we will go through the annexes right now. So where the specific call conditions allow for financial support third parties, you have to download the template from the submission tool. It is an annex. It means that it does not count towards the page limit that we have for the part B. And then you have to provide information on, you have to follow the format and the guidance that is provided in the template for this annex. And then you have to provide information, clearly detail the objectives and the results to be obtained. and to contain the following specifications: the maximum amount of financial support for each third party. This amount may not exceed the 60,000 euros unless explicitly mentioned in the work program topic. As we have seen in the previous session, there was a topic with the financial support third parties foreseen that foresees 100,000 euros per third party. So this is customized to your topic conditions. So always read the topic conditions. You also need to provide information on the criteria for calculating the exact amount for the financial support, the different types of activity that qualify for financial support, the persons or categories of persons that may receive financial support, and criteria for giving financial support. The more information you provide in this annex, the better it will be for us to assess your proposal during the evaluation period. In the next slide, we will see the annex that is or information on security issues. Here also does not count towards the page limit of the part B because it's a additional annex that you have to attach. The template is provided in the submission tool and must be completed if the topic is flagged in the work program as security sensitive or if you wish to declare security issues. You have to download this template and do not delete any section from the template, but mark them as not applicable if not relevant for your proposal. First, in the template, you have to provide a summary of the project security issues, and then there are 4 sections that you have to complete. First, the sensitive information with security recommendations. If your project involves sensitive information requiring limited dissemination due to security reasons. The second, classified information if your project intends to use or produce classified information. So you have to fill in the security aspects letter and the security classification guide tables. The third, if your project involves background or foreground classified information, you should complete the information on project security officer and security advisory board table. And the last one, described if relevant, the project security management and other measures intended to safeguard security during the project. Proposals with security issues identified, of course, will be screened, and they may also undergo a security scrutiny process. This is of special attention for applicants under Destination 5 and Destination 5, mostly space calls. In the next slide, you will see here also the annex on the declaration on ownership and control, which also does not count towards the page limit. All applicants, participants, beneficiaries, affiliated entities, subcontractors that are identified already at the submission stage, and associate partners must fill in this form. Entities that are validated as public bodies by the Central Validation Service do not have to fill in the form, but will automatically be considered as controlled by their country. Supporting documents do not have to be provided at the application stage, but there may be requested at a later stage. So it can provide this information as early as possible because it can become a complex and lengthy process. So try to be transparent. There was a particular a session on this ownership control already yesterday. Please follow the recorded session because it provides important information if you're applying to calls under Destination 5 and Destination 4. Follow the guidance, which also provides detailed information on how to fill in the templates. And there are two main sections to fill in the template: the declaration on ownership and control, and if there is foreign ownership control, the guarantees and the measures put in place. In the next slide. Here we compiled a bit the lessons learned from the past years on admissibility and eligibility checks. So what we observed is that proposals are not respecting, in some cases, proposals did not respect the minimum consortium composition requirements. This was really a pity because you put a lot of effort when you draft a proposal. So please really pay attention to the topic conditions so your proposal is eligible. Then other elements we observed is that there were missing parts in application form part B. So follow the structure that is provided in the template part B, provide the information in the sections that they refer to and not everywhere in the proposal, so follow the structure. Other elements we observed is the inconsistencies in the number of participants in Part A and Part B. So there was one more, for instance, beneficiary in Part B that was not reflected in Part A, or inconsistencies in the budget table in Part B and Part A. So always check your proposal before you click submit, that there is consistency between Part A and Part B. And then when your topics foresee an annex, attach this annex. If your topic does not foresee an annex, for instance, financial support to third parties or ownership control, then there is no need to attach an annex. In the next slide. Here is about some advice from our side on the quality of the proposal. As mentioned a few seconds ago, follow the template provided of Part B. The information is very easy to find because it is structured, it provides guidance. So add the sections, the information under the correct sections. It is your responsibility to demonstrate how your proposal addresses the award criteria as indicated in the call text. The evaluation of your proposal is based on the content you provide in the application form. Be as specific and as clear as possible. No assumptions or requests for additional information will be made during the evaluation process, so that your proposal is assessed as it has been submitted. The proposed work should correspond to the description in the work program and, of course, in the topic description. During the evaluation, a score in the range from 0 to 5 is given to each criterion based on how well the proposal corresponds to the award criteria. And probably you know that already. The maximum score of a proposal that you can reach is 15, and the threshold is 10. And the scores must pass, of course, the individual threshold of the criteria, and then the overall threshold if a proposal is to be considered for funding within the limits of the available budget. In the next slide. Here, the award criteria remain the same as in the previous years. We have 3 award criteria: the excellence, the impact, and the quality and efficiency of the implementation. For those who are applying for the first stage of the 2-stage calls, for the first stage, only the first 2 are taken into consideration: excellence and impact. Of course, the evaluation criteria are adapted to each type of action as specified in the work program. Its criterion includes the aspects to be taken into account. The same aspect is not included in different criteria, so your proposal is not assessed twice. Follow the application template part B instructions, and read the general annexes, and especially the section D on award criteria. And for innovation actions, the criterion impact is given a weight of 1.5 to determine the ranking. In the next slide. Here you see the award criteria and what we evaluate. Under excellence, and this is for research innovation actions and innovation actions, we assess the clarity and pertinence of the project objectives and the extent to which the proposed work is ambitious and goes beyond the state of the art. And we also assess the soundness of the proposed methodology, including the underlying concepts, models, assumptions, interdisciplinary approaches, appropriate consideration of the gender dimension in research and innovation content, and the quality of the open science practices, including sharing and management of research outputs and management of citizens, civil society, and end users where appropriate. Of course, the Part B template, as you will see in the next page, corresponds to this award criteria. So here we develop this template to provide information and guidance to you in order to provide us with the correct information under the correct sections. So when the evaluators will assess the excellence criterion, they will ask questions like, Are the project objectives clear and pertinent to the topic? Are they measurable and verifiable? Are they realistically achievable? Or when it comes to assess the scientific methodology, they will ask questions like, is the scientific methodology clear and sound? Has the gender dimension in research and innovation content been properly taken into account? Or are open science practices implemented as an integral part of the proposed methodology? So always follow the guidance that is provided here in the Part B template, because these are the elements that we will assess during the evaluation process. In the next slide, here you will see what we assess under the impact criterion, which is the credibility of the pathways to achieve the expected outcomes and impacts specified in the work program, and the likely scale and significance of the contributions due to the project. Then the suitability and quality of the measures to maximize expected outcomes and impacts as set out in the dissemination and exploitation plan, including the communication activities. So when the evaluators assess this criterion, they will ask questions like, is the contribution of the project towards the expected outcomes of the topic and the wider impacts credible? Or are the scale and significance of the project's contribution to the expected outcomes and impacts estimated and quantified? Or when they assess the measures to maximize impact, dissemination, exploitation, and communication, they will ask questions like, are the proposed dissemination, exploitation, and communication measures suitable for the project and of good quality? Are they proportionate to the scale of the project? Are the target groups for these measures identified, and so on? And in the next slide, under the quality and efficiency of the implementations, we assess the quality and effectiveness of the work plan, assessment of risks and appropriateness of the effort assigned to the work packages and the resources overall, and the capacity and role of each participant and extent to which the consortium as a whole brings together the necessary expertise. Under this criterion, questions that could be asked by the evaluators is that, is the work plan of a good quality and effective? Does the consortium match the project objectives to bring together the necessary disciplinary and interdisciplinary knowledge, and so on? In the next slide, you will see also the same evaluation criteria that apply for the coordination and support action. I will not read them out in this case. You can always find them in the Horizon Europe General Annexes. Similar questions like the ones I mentioned before apply also for the coordination and support actions. In the next slide, this is a very good point of information on the Open Research Europe. The Open Research Europe is an open access publishing platform for the publication of research stemming from Horizon 2020 and Horizon Europe funding across all subject areas. The platform makes it easy for Horizon 2020 Horizon Europe beneficiaries to comply with the open access terms of their funding, and offers researchers a publishing venue to share their results and insights rapidly and facilitate open, constructive research discussion. So its publication here must have at least one author who has been or still is a recipient of Horizon Europe or its 2020 grant. Articles here must be original, no duplications. So the platform, all articles here are published open access under the CC BY license. The publishing and peer review process are fully transparent, and where applicable, authors are asked to include detailed descriptions of methods and to provide full and easy access to the source data underlying the results. So please Google it, or you can follow the link here to find more information on the Open Research Europe, and we advise you to explore and consider using this platform as a publishing option for your project. It's at no cost from your side, and it's an optional service. And with that, we reach the final slide, which is a summary on the do's and don'ts. while you're applying to a topic. So do very carefully the work program, the topic description, the topic conditions, and the frequent asked questions at the topic page in your in the funding and tenders portal. Regularly check for topic updates, because usually we don't have very often topic updates, but when we have, it's an important update. So please regularly check the funding and tenders portal. Pay attention to the conditions. It will be a pity, because you put a lot of effort when you prepare your proposal to have your proposal declared ineligible for something that you may have missed. Follow the templates provided in the submission system. We try to provide a lot of guidance in these templates, so follow them. And then read the evaluation criteria provided in the Horizon Europe General Annexes. Also read the Horizon Europe Program Guides. And submit as many times you wish before the call deadline. Of course, you can always update your application there. And for the don'ts, don't include activities that are not eligible for funding in your proposals. Proposed activities should have an exclusive focus on civil applications. Do not forget to mark resubmission when relevant. And when you mark a resubmission, make sure that you add the reference number. That will help us identify your previous submission. Do not add any information where it does not belong. That is for mostly the Part B section. So always follow the structure as it is provided in the template Part B. Do not wait until last minute, because that increases the stress, and also it's prone to errors. So apply as early as possible and then update your application. And then for the blind evaluation, do not disclose any applicant's identity. Um, and that was all from our side. I hope you found this useful, and we are open for questions.
Yes, thank you. Thanks a lot, Anna, and colleagues who provide support for the redaction of this presentation. So now it's room for questions. Again, you can scan the QR code, add in the event code info day. I see there's already quite some questions. So concerning the two-step proposals, the blind evaluation will only apply to the first stage?
Yes, it applies only to all first stage of a two-stage calls. So this is clear, I think. So all of them, all the first stage of the two-stage calls will be evaluated blindly. And if you're still unsure, you will see a reference in the topic conditions. It will be also mentioned there.
Okay, so another question about the two-step proposals. A detailed budget is needed in the first stage, and when lump sum applies, the annex is requested in at this first stage.
Oh, um, hold
So
on a second to read the question. I thought there
no,
was another question before that. So two-step proposals.
yeah, if a detailed budget is needed to apply
No,
in
it is not
the first
needed.
stage.
So when you apply for a lump sum topic, and there are two-step process, like two states calls, the detailed budget table for the lump sum topic is not needed for the first stage submission of the two-stage calls.
Okay, so only second stage.
Yes, where it is the full application.
Or yes, okay. Okay, we can move to the other question. Is it envisaged to make available a dedicated annex to include letters of support for the project from external organizations to the consortium?
We do not, in Horizon Europe, we no longer need letters of support. So we do not attach them as an annex anymore. So they are not needed. So you will not find the button to upload such an annex.
Okay, thank you. Another question, again for blind evaluation. You mentioned avoid providing names, logos. What about large industry in country XX? Could you enumerate exact admissibility requirements?
Yes, exactly. These are also mentioned in the general annexes. So you are not supposed to provide information on the logos, names, beneficiary names. However, when it comes to implying a particular beneficiary, like by adding a sentence, large industry in country XX, we will assess case by case if the proposal complies with this particular eligibility criterion. So you are advised to avoid mentioning this, but if you do, your proposal will not automatically be ineligible, but we will assess case by case. Because what we have in the general annexes is that only when the logos, the beneficiaries, and the names of the participants are appearing in Part B, automatically the proposal is ineligible. So we will assess case by case, but our advice is to avoid such references.
Thank you, Anna. So we can move to the other question. In the Part B template, there are tags. Is this the next in gray? Will they work if we copy them into our own templates? Should they stay in the PDF? This is a question practically how, because there are some text in gray in the template.
Yes, the Part B template is tagged. Do not erase these tags. I think maybe it's better if I do not know the answer, whether you should copy them or not. Definitely, you should not erase the tags. They will work. The idea is that they work. If you have any issues with the Part B template, always get in touch with us and provide us more details on where the problem may be. And you should use the template provided in the portal. So because the second part of the question is if we copy them into our own template. So use the template provided in the portal because there are the tags in the Part B template. So there shouldn't be any problem. They should stay in the PDF when you change it into a PDF document.
Yes, thank you, Anna. I think we still have some, since we start a little bit later, I think we can move on with the other two questions that I see here in Slido. So in the Part B template, is there any section reference to the use development of artificial intelligence systems technique?
From what I'm aware of, no, but you have to include it if you foresee the use of artificial intelligence, because this is also assessed under the evaluation process. So you have, if your proposal, because that depends on the proposed activities of your proposal. So if you foresee to use or develop an artificial intelligence systems, you have to include it as well under the relevant section, and it is taken into consideration for the evaluation.
Thank you, Anna. One last question I see. When an old proposal I submitted again with changes, is this considered as a resubmission and should be marked so, or resubmission is only for identical proposal?
If I understand correctly the question, if you prepare an application in the system and you have already submitted it, and then you update your proposal, I understand that this is the question about.
I think it's about they submit in one once with a certain proposal, and then they submit it again with another topic.
Okay,
But,
it's a new
with some
submission.
changes. So
Yes, you should.
submission, I guess.
Yes, in this case, you have to tick that it is a resubmission, and then you need to include the reference. Now, the way I understood it, if you apply for a topic and you click on apply, you can always update your proposal. In this case, this does not consider a resubmission.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Anna. And I think that there's no more questions. And also I see that our new guests are all the three online. So I think we can, since we are perfectly on time, I think we can move on to the next presentation concerning the support that you might have and you can find at the national level. So the national contact point services. And so for this, I will start to share first my screen, and I will introduce you also the guest. Just 1 second. I'm going to swap presentation. I guess it's correct. So now I would like to introduce you the 3 representatives of the 3 different national contact points, and Edina Nemet from, let's say, representative of the NCPs, the digital NCPs for the ICT and the digital part of Cluster 4, Vaya Pitelli from the network of the NCPs dealing with space, and Serena Borgna, the representative of the national contact point dealing with the industry part. So they will present what are the services, but also the specific project and network dedicated to the support to stakeholders and national contact point. So Vaya, Serena, Nemet, Edina, are you there? Because I can.
Yes, Serena.
Okay, so can you switch
Helena.
your camera on? Sorry, I cannot see as I'm sharing my screen, so I don't see if you are online. But so the floor is yours. So please let me know when I have to change the slides, and yeah, you can start.
Thank you very much, Elena, for this introduction. I will do the first part, and then I will pass the floor to my colleague Vaya and Edina. So the idea of this presentation is to show to the public who are the national contact point and the services that we can offer you. So as you can see from the next slide, oops.
Yes, I don't know what's happening.
It was too much fast.
Yeah, but it's going too fast. Okay, this is the right one.
The key task of a national contact point is to support applicants who wish to participate in Horizon Europe. National contact points are physical, real person that are nominated at national level and that act in close cooperation with the European Commission and with the national research and innovation community. Our role, as you can see from the next slide, is to offer to the public some services that could be useful for the potential applicant and beneficiary when they decided to apply in Horizon Europe. So us as a national contact point follow the applicants during the entire project life cycle of an Horizon Europe project. We start from the proposal phase, we can assist you at the beginning, and we can help you also during the implementation phase of your project. We can assist and we can give information in your language and in personalized manner. And in this way, we can offer a really face-to-face assistance to the national and international research and innovation community that needs our help. Our services are for free. This is logic, but it's important to underline again. And the main set of activities that we can offer to the general applicants are to inform and aware about Horizon Europe, to assist, advise and training, and to signpost in cooperation. Just to give you more details, starting from the next slide, we listed in the next slide all the services that we can offer in the set of activities that are related to the information and awareness raising. For example, the national contact point can circulate general and specific documentation on the Horizon Europe, giving details and instruction about the condition for participation, for submission, and how to do the budget and the reporting. We organize any kind of information and promotional activities, sometimes in cooperation with the European Commission, in other cases in cooperation with the national authority, in order to inform at national level the community about the opportunities that are offered inside Horizon Europe, and in particular in the Cluster 4. We organize, for example, at national level info days, seminars, conference. We promote newsletter, fact sheet, and also brokerages event and participation in fair and exhibition, just to give to the beneficiary any kind of information that they needs in this phase of proposal, in the proposal phase, in the implementation phase of the project. As national contact points, is very important our role in give aware about the Horizon Europe funding opportunities offered in the Cluster 4 and in the partnership initiative linked to the Cluster 4, but also to give you any kind of information about the cross-cutting issue that are very important in Cluster 4, like gender balance, open science, artificial intelligence due diligence, or any other kind of information that it's very important to strengthen the link between science and civil society in Horizon Europe. Like, for example, also the SSH integration, that is another important aspect that you should take into consideration in your proposal development. In the other set of activities, you can find also some activities that we are used to do in assisting a researcher and organization. We are discussing about any kind of organization, both public and private. And of course, we are particularly active with the new actors and SMEs that needs to that would like to increase and improving their participation in Horizon Europe. We can assist the applicants in the partner search, showing them the tools that are available also in the funding and tender portal, but also in giving you other instruments like the Enterprise Europe Network partner services for SMEs, other national database for fixing a best consortium. We advise also for the administrative procedures, rules and issues, about how to fill in the proposal template, about any other kind of annexes that you need in the proposal phase. We are also able to support you in the phase of setting up an appropriate management and legal structure, and also to offer you a detailed explanation about the scope and the modalities of the different type of action. Sometimes the national contact point at the national level can also offer training course and training session in order to give you the most high quality advice about how to participate in a winning way in the Horizon Europe proposal. Another activities that we can do as national contact point that you can see in the next slide is the signposting and cooperation. The national contact point would also like to try to support the applicants in signposting to other business support network services, but also in other national, regional, European funding programs that could be helpful for you. For example, we are not all the national contact point are also national contact point for the Digital Europe program, but we are aware about the difference, so we can also help you to understand better the difference among the different programs that are under the European Union, to give you a panorama, an overview about the different funding opportunities that could be useful for you. In any case, the national contact points are focused on Horizon Europe. This is very important, and in particular, in this case, on the cluster 4. But we can also help you to try to find other opportunities in case we are also a contact point for the other program. Just to give you another information that is in the next slide. Here you can see that the national contact points are more than 220 at European and worldwide. As you can see in the funding attended portal, this slide is hyperlinked, so you can find our contact for any country. You can find our name and our email address, so everybody can be contacted by the applicant at national level, so we can support not only organizations coming from the member state, but also organizations, the entities that are based in associated country or in third country. By the funding attended portal, you can find our contact, so everybody of us are easily findable in the portal of the European Commission. In the next slide, you can find some most common questions that we received during our daily work as national contact point. So we can support you during the proposal stage. We can help you after the proposal submission. We can analyze together the evaluation summary report in case the proposal has not been funded. So you need to understand better also the evaluation coming from the European Commission. We also can guide you in order to find the right opportunities around Horizon Europe, Cluster 4 and abroad. And we also try to support you in building the right consortium. In some cases, the national contact point are also able to do a sort of pre-proposal check of your proposal, so we can read with you what you wrote. We can try to improve your proposal, and in any case, we can get this information in private way. So we are not going to inform others about this information, or we'll keep secret because it's part of our work. So in case you have any kind of doubts about your application to Horizon Europe Cluster 4 calls, we are able to support you. We are established in each of the member state, associated country, and in a large number of third countries. So we are at your availability for any kind of information, support, and advice. In order to go more into the random R&D community, you can see from the next slide that the national contact point have a double structure in order to give a comprehensive support structure to the proposal. We have the national contact points that you can find at national level, and then we have as national contact point a multinational networks that act as a group of national contact points would like to support the applicants in additional services that are performed together with the different national contact points based in the different member states and associated countries. In this different column, in this image, and then I would like to thank you, Edina, that proposed this image for this slide. You can find the difference between the support at national level and the tool services that we are going to develop inside the NCP networks that we are going to represent. So, for example, we can support you in finding topics in Horizon Europe, in training, and the evaluation summary report and statistics for participation in Cluster 4 at national level. But from the different national contact point networks, we are going to offer additional tools and services that are very important to emphasize with the transnational work coming from all the different national contact points at European level, like project idea check, partner search, brokerage event, a toolbox for sharing documentation, and other kind of information. For this reason, to having multinational networks for the cluster 4, and now you can see in the next slide, for the cluster 4, we have now 3 different networks in cluster 4 for the national contact point. In fact, due to the complexity of cluster 4, the European Commission decided to fund three national contact point networks project for each of the 3 cluster 4 thematic area. So you can find an NCP network dedicated to the digital area that is called Idealist, another NCP network dedicated to the industry area called NCP for Industry, and another one dedicated to the space area that is called Cosmos. The aims of these 3 different networks is to promote event services tool for the different community, and in order to create a better circulation of knowledge, good practice, and opportunities among the cluster 4 research and innovation community. Now in this event, I'm also represent one of these 3 NCP networks, because my organization is going to coordinate the NCP for Industry NCP networks that is dedicated to the industry side. In the next slide, you can see the contact details for the NCP for Industry networks, and in the next one, the next slide, you can see the main objective of this network. It's very important to have clear in mind that the NCP networks are very important not only for the NCP itself, but also for the community, the European Research and Innovation community, because of our role is to promote the funding opportunities among the different transnational research and innovation community, and also to stimulate knowledge transfer, cross-fertilization among the different institutions and stakeholder groups. In the next slide, you can see the most relevant target group for the NCP for Industry. So we have some services dedicated to the national contact point to try to keep our knowledge aligned, but also we have several activities and tools dedicated to the relevant initiative and stakeholder groups, and also to the R&I communities and to the newcomers and potential new actors. Our role is to try to create for the applicants matchmaking activities, proposal check activities, webinar, info session. For example, today, for the industry side, back to back with the Info Day, we organize the brokerages event for applicants. This event is organized by the NCP for Industry network jointly with the European Commission. And this is an activity that is very important and strategic for the applicants because we can offer you a platform where you can find potential partner in your proposal. I would like to underline that for the brokerages event, we have now today open this day dedicated to the bilateral meetings, but it's also important to know that this platform will be keep open in the next 3 months in order also to offer you a platform where you can continually interact with other potential applicants in order to create the best cooperation opportunity for the next call of Cluster 4 in Horizon Europe. In the next slide, you can have also an idea about the different services that we are going to offer inside the NCP for Industry. And you also will see that some services are very similar in the other cluster. We work very close together. We are creating synergies in also to offer a common standard of tooled services to all the community. Beside the brokerages event, we are going to organize pre-proposal check event and access to update information, assistance in partner search, but also training, mutual learning module, and also assistance in proposal writing. It is made by the national contact point, thanks also to the services that are put on the table by the NCP for Industry networks. In the next slide, that will be one of the last from my side, you can see the upcoming services for applicant organized by NCP for Industry. Today there is the brokerage event. As I said you before, it will last also for the next 3 months, because the platform will be kept open in order to facilitate the interaction among potential applicants. And on Friday, we are also going to organize an event about the AMI 2030, that is an initiative about materials that will be very important for the next strategy in materials at European level. We have also organized a proposal check idea services inside NCP for Industry, so you can apply in order to receive a proposal check from the national contact point in the call 2023. Here, the website for any kind of additional information and the contacts of the NCP for Industry network for other information. So now I would like to pass the floor to the Idealist network. That is the network, or Cosmos, sorry, I think that is Cosmos after NCP for Industry. So Vaya Pitali, that is the coordinator of this project, and my dear colleagues. So now the floor is yours, Vaya. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Elena.
Thank you very much, Serena. Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to present Cosmos for Horizon Europe, which is the NCP network for space. The new network is building on the long-standing activity of past space NCP space NCP networks from Cosmos to Cosmos 2020 plus, and the current project has 15 partners. They are all NCP for space from 15 countries, offering services and support to NCPs and applicants. Next slide, please. The main objectives of Horizon, the main objectives for Cosmos for Horizon Europe are to increase the quality and support harmonization of space NCP services, to lower the entry barriers for newcomer applicants, to attract new types of players and applicants from widening countries, as well as to raise the quality of submitted proposals, to increase the visibility of the thematic area of space to new types of players by organizing matchmaking events and ensuring bilateral communication about the cross-cutting issues throughout Horizon Europe for the benefit of the European research and innovation community. The key activities and services are, of course, targeting NCPs, such as trainings and webinars and information material and guidelines, and exchange and support between NCPs. But most importantly, key activities and services are targeting applicants, organizing information events and matchmaking networking events, as well as pitching sessions, offering proposal support, providing information material and guides, and our goal is to be an info point for the space community for the thematic area of space in Horizon Europe. The brokerage event for Cluster 4 Space Calls had a kickoff date on the 8th of December, but don't worry if you missed it, because the platform is still open and will remain open until the deadline of the calls. So on the kickoff date, we had about 300 meetings, bilateral meetings, to build consortia and partnerships. And up to now, we have about 400 participants on the platform. So if you're interested to look for partners, you can register and create your profile. You can choose space topics based on your interests. You can navigate participants' profiles and then request and book your meetings, and this will be available until March. If you need further support, you can certainly contact your national contact point. You can visit our website to stay informed with us and also follow us on social media. I would like to thank you very much, and now I would like to ask my colleague Dina Nemeth to continue with the presentation of Idealist. Thank you very much.
Dina? Are you there?
Hello, I'm Adina Nemeth. I am the national contact point for Hungary, and today I'm here representing the Idealist Network, which is the network of NCPs for all the digital topics. So in cluster 4, this means destination 3, destination 4, and destination 6 topics. So who are we? Who is our network? Our network has a long history. We've been active since 1996, and we have representatives in close to 50 countries within Europe, but also well beyond Europe in order to enhance international cooperation as well. Next, please. We offer a wide range of services that we have developed over the years. Next, please. And these fantastic services are available pretty much for everyone who is interested in the digital topics. We offer trainings and webinars about digital issues, but also about issues that are quite relevant horizontally, such as how evaluation works in the Horizon Europe and the experience of coordinators in Horizon Europe. We also have a toolbox for proposers, some notifications personalized according to your interest within the digital area. And like the other networks, we offer brokerage events, proposal checks, and a special service called the topic tree. So I will talk a little bit about that next. So our topic tree is a mapping of all the topics in the digital area in Horizon Europe, and it shows the evolution of these topics. This is very interesting because you can find out what the history of a given topic is, who are the key participants in the area, what projects are being financed, and this will give you guidance on how you should apply in future topics. It shows mostly the evolution of the topics, so what the history of given topics are in the given area, but you can also click on details about each topic that you're interested in. So basically, it helps you find the topics that are most relevant for you in Horizon Europe Digital. Next, please. In addition, we typically organize huge brokerage events. Most of them are live, but when we do it online, it's quite similar to what you see on this picture. For this work program 23-24, next please, we are also holding a brokerage event, and this is being organized tomorrow and on Friday. We have well over 1,000 participants and well over 1,500 meetings. And at this event, you can create a profile, share your project ideas, offer your expertise for future calls, and basically find partners for future consortia that you want to apply with. Like the other networks, we'll also offer long-term networking. So if you're not available tomorrow or Friday, then you can also register for long-term networking, and it will be open until the end of the calls. Next, please. So within this event, we also offer a special service, which is project idea check. You can send us a one-pager about your project, just your basic ideas. What is the target? What is the impact? What kind of actors you want to involve in your consortium? And then you will get feedback in a live meeting from experienced national contact points from your country, but also you can involve others whom you might want to include in the consortium. Next, please. We also offer a full proposal check, and this service is usually available 1 month before the call deadlines. And here we hire external experienced evaluators who go through your proposal in detail and give you feedback, leaving you enough time to adjust your proposal before you finally submit it. So we intend to organize this towards the end of February or early March this year. And next, please. So if you're interested in your services, you can reach us on idealist.eu, but you can also follow us and get informed directly about our services on our Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook account. So thank you for your attention, and we look forward to helping you apply to Horizon Europe.
Okay, so again, we have I think we have still a few minutes in case there is some questions. I would like to thank you, Serena, Vaya, and Edina for this very comprehensive presentation about the role of the NCPs. And so thank you again. So for the stakeholders and for the people who are watching us in streaming, please don't hesitate to have a look and to the website, and you know, try to find also your new partner for you know, even if you miss some partners for your consortium, don't hesitate to have a look to those website and to the brokerage event. Even if it's online, I think it's still a very relevant, let's say, tool to get in touch with other potential partners. So again, you know that the QR code, it's info day. I don't know if there are some still some I don't know if there are some questions. Okay, so one question: is there a cost to access any of this support via the NCP? I don't know who wants to answer. Serena, Edina, Vaya?
Free note, Elena. All the services of the national contact point are free, so you can easily contact us free of charge.
Yes, so an additional good, let's say, motivation to contact your national contact point. So yeah.
Yeah, we are usually available by phone, email, and sometimes by physical appointment in our office or via Teams and so on. So depends of the national structure, but usually we are easy to contact from the applicants.
And I would specify in your native language. Let's say it's not not English, but would be Italian for Italy, Greek for Greece, Hungarian for Hungary, and so on. So I don't know if any other question. Otherwise, I think I can leave the floor to Mindaugas if he here for the closing session, let's say.
Yes, Elena.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. I cannot share my camera. Thanks a lot. Just 1 second. I'm trying to make technology work. Hopefully you can see me now. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the close of these intense and hopefully very enlightening info days. Just a few wrap-up remarks from our side. As you know, all of the sessions were recorded and will be available for you. So check event website. You will find all the links there. I would also like to thank all the speakers for their very informative presentations on these complex and fascinating calls. Dare I say it, these calls literally give us a glimpse into the future. And I would like to thank, of course, our audience for attention and active participation. For all information about the calls including questions and answers, please check Funding and Tenders portal. Do follow us also on social media, on Twitter and LinkedIn. You can see our accounts on your screen. And well, again, thank you very much and best of luck with your proposals. May Horizon Europe give wings to your best ideas and help realize the potential of the new technologies. Thanks a lot.